Remember when you used to be excited about things? When you'd wake up with energy and ideas and plans for what you wanted to do? When you actually looked forward to stuff instead of just dreading it? Yeah, me too. And I don't know when it changed, but somewhere along the way, that version of you just disappeared. Now you wake up and you can't find a single reason to get out of bed. You have things you need to do, things you used to want to do, but you just can't bring yourself to care anymore. It's not that you're depressed exactly. You're not sad all the time. You're just nothing. No motivation, no drive, no energy. Just this constant state of, I don't want to do anything that you can't seem to shake no matter what you try. And everyone keeps telling you the same useless advice. Just do it. Stop being lazy. You need discipline, not motivation. But none of that helps because the problem isn't that you don't know what to do. The problem is that you genuinely cannot bring yourself to care about doing it. I spent almost 2 years in this exact state, zero motivation for anything. I'd wake up, scroll on my phone for hours, maybe force myself to do the bare minimum to get by, and then go back to bed. And I hated it. I hated feeling this way, but I couldn't figure out how to snap out of it until I finally understood what was actually happening. And once I got it, everything changed. So if you're sitting there right now with zero motivation, feeling like you're never going to care about anything again, I want to explain what's really going on and what you can actually do about it. First, let's talk about what motivation actually is, because I think most people misunderstand this. We think motivation is this magical feeling that's supposed to make us want to do things, and when we don't have that feeling, we assume something's wrong with us. But here's the thing, motivation isn't supposed to be constant. It's not supposed to be this endless supply of energy that makes everything feel easy and exciting. Motivation comes and goes. It's temporary, it's a feeling, and feelings change. The real problem isn't that you lost your motivation. The problem is that you're relying on motivation in the first place. Because when you only do things when you feel motivated, you're basically giving your emotions control over your entire life, and your emotions are unreliable. Some days you'll wake up feeling great, other days you'll wake up feeling like garbage. And if you're waiting to feel motivated before you do anything, you're going to be waiting forever. But here's what nobody tells you, the reason you have no motivation anymore isn't because you're lazy or broken, it's because you burned it all out. Let me explain. Think about motivation like a battery. Every time you push yourself to do something hard, every time you force yourself through something you don't want to do, every time you stay up late or skip meals or ignore your needs to be productive, you're draining that battery. And for a while, you can keep going. You can keep pushing. You can keep draining that battery because you think that's what you're supposed to do. You think that's what discipline looks like, but eventually that battery runs out. And when it does, you have nothing left. That's what happened to me. I spent years pushing myself constantly, working late, grinding, hustling, doing all the things I thought I was supposed to do to be successful. And I thought I was being disciplined. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't. I was just burning myself out. And by the time I realized what was happening, my battery was completely dead. I had no motivation left because I'd used it all up without ever stopping to recharge. And this is where most people are right now. You're not unmotivated because you're lazy. You're unmotivated because you're exhausted. You've been running on empty for so long that your brain has basically shut down to protect you. Second, and this is huge, you've been chasing the wrong things. Think about what you're trying to motivate yourself to do. Is it stuff you actually care about, or is it stuff you think you're supposed to care about? Because here's what I realized, most of the things I was trying to force myself to do, I didn't actually want to do. I was doing them because I thought that's what successful people do. I thought that's what would make me happy. But deep down, I didn't care about any of it. And you can't sustain motivation for things you don't actually care about. It just doesn't work. You can force yourself for a while, but eventually your brain is going to rebel. It's going to say, why are we doing this? We don't even want this. So you need to get honest with yourself. What are you actually trying to do and why? Is it because you genuinely want it, or is it because someone else told you that you should want it? I was trying to build this whole career path that I thought would make me successful and happy, but I hated it. I genuinely hated it. And no amount of discipline or motivation was going to change that because I was fighting against what I actually wanted. Once I stopped trying to force myself to want the things I thought I should want and started focusing on what I actually cared about, motivation started to come back naturally because I wasn't fighting myself anymore. Third, your environment is killing your motivation. And I mean this literally. The space you're in, the people you're around, the content you're consuming, all of it is draining your motivation without you even realizing it. Think about your room right now. Is it cluttered, messy? Does it make you feel stressed just being in it? Because your environment affects your mental state more than you think. It's hard to feel motivated when your physical space is chaotic. Think about the people you spend time with. Are they supportive? Do they encourage you? Or are they negative, draining, constantly complaining? Because if you're surrounded by people who have no motivation themselves, it's going to rub off on you. Think about what you're consuming online. Are you following people who inspire you, or are you following people who make you feel bad about yourself? Are you watching content that energizes you or content that makes you feel worse? I realized I was following a ton of accounts that just made me feel inadequate. Everyone seemed to be doing better than me, achieving more, living better lives. And every time I scrolled, I felt more and more drained because I was constantly comparing myself to these impossible standards. Once I cleaned up my feed, once I unfollowed the accounts that made me feel bad and started following people who actually inspired me, my mental state improved dramatically. Same with my physical space. Once I cleaned my room, organized my stuff, created an environment that didn't stress me out, I felt so much better. Fourth, and this one's important, you're not giving yourself permission to rest. You think rest is lazy. You think taking breaks means you're weak. So you push through even when you have nothing left. And that's exactly why you have no motivation. Your brain needs rest. Your body needs rest. You need time to do nothing, to recharge, to recover. And if you don't give yourself that time, your motivation will never come back because there's nothing left to come back with. I used to think rest was wasted time. I thought I needed to be productive every single moment or I was failing, but that mindset destroyed me because I never recharged. I just kept draining and draining until there was nothing left. Once I started actually resting, and I mean real rest, not scrolling on my phone or watching Netflix, but actual rest where I did nothing, my motivation started to come back because I was finally giving my battery a chance to recharge. So here's what you need to do if you want your motivation back. And I'm warning you, it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be a 5 step process that fixes everything overnight, but it works. First, stop relying on motivation. I know that sounds backwards, but hear me out. Instead of waiting to feel motivated, build systems and routines that don't require motivation. Make doing the thing automatic. For example, if you want to work out, don't wait until you feel like it. Just put it in your calendar at the same time every day and do it whether you feel like it or not. After a while, it becomes a habit and you don't need motivation anymore. Second, figure out what you actually want, not what you think you should want, not what would impress other people. What do you actually care about? What would you do even if no one was watching? Start there because motivation for things you genuinely care about is way easier to sustain than motivation for things you're forcing yourself to care about. Stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. Third, fix your environment, clean your space, organize your life, unfollow accounts that drain you, distance yourself from negative people. Consume content that inspires you instead of content that makes you feel inadequate. Your environment shapes your mental state more than you realize, so shape your environment to support the person you're trying to become instead of keeping you stuck where you are. Fourth, rest. Actually, rest. Give yourself permission to do nothing without feeling guilty about it. Your motivation will not come back if you don't give your brain and body time to recover. You can't pour from an empty cup, so stop trying and just refill the cup. And finally, be patient with yourself. You didn't lose your motivation overnight, and you're not going to get it back overnight. It's going to take time. There are going to be setbacks. You're going to have days where you feel just as unmotivated as you do right now. But if you keep doing these things, if you stop relying on motivation and start building systems, if you focus on what you actually care about, if you fix your environment and actually rest, your motivation will come back slowly, gradually, but it will come back. I know because it happened for me. I went from having zero motivation for anything to actually being excited about my life again. And it wasn't because I found some magic solution or secret hack. It was because I stopped doing the things that were draining me and started doing the things that recharged me. You can do the same. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're just burned out. And the way out isn't to push harder, it's to take a step back, recharge, and rebuild in a way that's actually sustainable. So, what's one thing you can do today? Pick the easiest one. Maybe it's cleaning your room. Maybe it's unfollowing 10 accounts that make you feel bad. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to rest without feeling guilty. Just pick one and do it. And then tomorrow do it again and keep going. Because you deserve to feel motivated again. You deserve to feel excited about your life. And you will. You just have to give yourself the chance. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to start with. And if this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We'll talk again soon.